Welcome to Calvin Power Station, where our primary objective is to generate electricity in a safe and environmentally friendly way.
You will be learning all about the safety hazards here at Calvin and how to ensure that you work safely whilst protecting yourself, other employees and the environment around you. PPE may be described as clothing and other protective items used in the workplace to safeguard the worker from risks and hazards. The OHS Act states that PPE must be provided to the worker free of charge and must be replaced when broken or damaged. At Calvin, a PPE plan has been drawn up for people to know that PPE is required in which areas. Safety induction at Calvin will only be given to people in full PPE. This is to ensure that all Calvin people and contractors are issued with clean, undamaged PPE. Head protection. Your head is the command center for your body. Wearing a hard hat protects your head from injury from falling objects. Respiratory protection. There are different types of respirators that are worn over your nose and mouth to prevent you from breathing in harmful substances that will settle in your lungs and could cause you to get sick. That is why it is important to wear your respirator at all times in dusty or smoky areas. Both dust masks and respirators come with two sets of straps. You must ensure that the one set is above your ears and the other below. This is to make sure that the mask fits tightly around your nose and mouth and that nothing can enter from the sides either. Respirators come with filter cartridges that filter out the harmful substances. There are different types of cartridges depending on the type of substance present. Placing your hands over the cartridges and breathing in tests the efficiency of cartridges. If there is a vacuum, then it is in good working condition. Cartridges need to be changed when breathing becomes a problem, or if you feel that the dust or chemicals are getting in, it is time to change the cartridges. Eye protection. Safety glasses protect your eyes from foreign bodies, dust, chemical splashes, and burns. Before putting on your glasses, check for cracks, dents, or scratches. Once on, they must fit comfortably, and there should not be anything on the lens obstructing your view. Glasses can be wiped with warm water and detergent to remove dust from the lens. People that perform welding jobs must wear a welding face shield with tinted lens that protects the eye from the brightness of the sparks. People who work with chemicals must wear goggles. Hearing protection. Long-term exposure to noise will damage your hearing. People are not allowed to work in areas with a noise level higher than 85 decibels without hearing protectors. Both A and B stations are noise zones, so you are required to wear hearing protectors at all times inside the plant. At Calvin, our staff is issued with noise clippers, which are specifically designed for the individual and will only fit into his or her ears. Each pair has that person's initials on it and either a R or a L indicating if it goes in the left or right ear. Hand protection. Almost 20% of all disabling job incidents involve hand injuries. Injuries to hands include cuts or lacerations from tools and machines, or sharp edges of knives or scissors, punches from screwdrivers, staples, sprains or broken bones from falling objects, crushed fingers from in-running, which involves fingers becoming entangled in rolling actions like gears, wheels and belts, and skin irritation or burns from contact with chemicals. Gloves can help protect you from all of these potential injuries. At Calvin, there are different types of gloves used. Cloth gloves for general use, leather gloves for welding, heat-resistant gloves for work with hot ash, latex gloves for use in the lab, and insulated gloves for electrical work. Foot protection. Your feet are the wheels that move you from home to work and wherever you want to go. They're the most basic transportation you have. You get only 2 feet and 10 toes. It's important to take care of them by wearing proper foot protection. Your feet are exposed to injury every day on the job. Some workers may face the following foot hazards. Impact. Sharp or heavy objects that fall on your feet. You can also break your toes if you hit them against something. Compression. Heavy objects can roll over your feet and crush your toes. Splashes, spills. Acids or chemicals can cause burns. Electrical shock. Accidental contact with electricity can cause shocks or burns. Slipping. You can slip and fall on spilled water, oil, or chemicals. Full body protection. Hazards can include sparks, corrosive materials, heat, toxic dusts, vapors, gases, and liquids. Protection against these hazards requires overalls, which are issued to all Calvin personnel. These reduce the risk of loose clothing getting caught in machinery. They should be comfortable, loose-fitting to allow for easy movement and air circulation, and should suit the general climatic conditions. People working in the ash plant must ensure that their overalls are not tucked into their gumboots, as many accidents have happened where hot ash goes into the boot and causes severe burns. Leather aprons are also worn to protect the body from welding sparks or hot ash. Safety harnesses. All persons should have knowledge of areas where safety harnesses may be required. If you don't know, ask your supervisor. All harnesses should be made of a durable, non-stretch material and should not be made of leather. All snaps, shackles, hooks, or locks on both the belt and the rope should fit correctly and be of the fail-safe locking type. Safety harnesses must be worn when working in elevated positions exceeding 2 meters in height. The lanyard, which is a short length of line, must be attached to the wearer's harness and secured above the person's head at all times. Safety harnesses are essential when working at heights or working in bunkers, as this will save your life if you fall. All harnesses must be inspected and documented at least monthly. In general, loose clothing such as ties, scarves, cuffs, etc. must not be worn when working with moving machinery. Ensure that PPE fits correctly. Clean and disinfect PPE regularly and store it properly when not in use. Long hair must be tied up safely when working with or near operating machinery. No matter how good the fit or how safe the design of your PPE, you are the key ingredient. Failure to wear your PPE will lead to disciplinary action being taken against you. You have to wear it to make it work. Put it on, leave it on, and care for it. It's that simple and that important. The next topic we will cover is discussing all the major hazards at Calvin and ways to protect you from their effects. A hazard is defined as a condition, activity, object, or substance that can cause injury, damage, or loss. We have identified the following as major hazards at Calvin. Electricity. Electrocution is a hazard in any industry. Calvin, being a power station, has very high voltage electricity flowing throughout the station. Dust. The main dusty areas are the coal plants, ash plants, and the boilers. Always ensure that you wear a dust mask or a respirator if the area you work in is dusty, as inhaling the dust in large amounts over a period of time may cause permanent lung damage. Heat. In certain areas of the plant, especially in the boilers and turbines, it can become very hot and uncomfortable to work. To ensure that you are as comfortable as possible and to prevent heat stroke or dehydration, you need to drink at least 600 milliliters of cold water every hour. When taking breaks, ensure it is in a cool, well-ventilated area. Noise. Both A and B stations have been declared noise zones, which means that the noise level inside the plant is above 85 decibels and will damage your hearing if you do not wear hearing protectors. You need to always wear your hearing protection when you are in these areas. People working in noise zones are required to have their hearing tested annually. Asbestos. As Calvin is a very old plant, there are still places that contain asbestos. Asbestos is a type of material that was used as insulation in the boilers and as lagging on the ducts. Only in recent years did the harmful effects of asbestos become evident, and its use has been replaced with mineral wool. Asbestos poses a very serious threat to your health if it is improperly removed or taken down, as the tiny fibers released are breathed in and settle in your lungs. The disease, asbestosis, only develops 15 to 20 years later after exposure, and to date there is no cure for it. An asbestos register has been drawn up at Calvin that gives the location of all the asbestos on site. Areas in the plant that still contain asbestos are marked with the letter A. Only one contracting company is allowed to remove any asbestos on site, as they follow special procedures designed to safeguard the health of those in the plant. The area is barricaded, the employees wear disposable overalls, and they wear respirators that prevent them from inhaling the fibers. Asbestos is also an environmental problem, as it is hazardous waste when removed and disposal becomes a problem. We have a specialist company that disposes of the asbestos once removed to ensure it is not illegally dumped. Working from heights. All work to be carried out in an elevated position must be performed from a ladder or a scaffold. A ladder is only regarded as safe to use if it is as stable as a scaffold. Do not stand on pipes, drums, or equipment. Safety harnesses must be worn when work is to be carried out in elevated positions exceeding 2 meters in height.